Stand by, it's time. About to blow up like a landmine. Stand by.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Dar.
Delilah.
And we are
the Wilson family.
Alright, guys, today we are going to be doing a Q&A. We got some of your questions off of Twitter between me and my fiance Delilah. And today we're going to be answering those questions for y'all. Alright, so this video is going to be really honest, our real life experience. It hasn't been easy over these 4 years, but that's why we are here to answer the questions for y'all, so y'all can see the ups and downs relationships have. But what really matters is that you stick together and you work together through those tough times. Alright, guys, so before we get started, as always, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, hit that bell, hit that like button, and stay up to date with us. Of course, we're going to be serving y'all content every week, or try to, you know, we're going to do what we can do, but we're going to serve y'all some content every week. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it.
So the first question is, where did y'all meet? You want to answer this?
Yeah, I can answer it. So from my point of view, from my, what I can take back and, you know, look back in time and see, we met first through Twitter. You know, One Tree Hill was kind of a big thing back then, and we started communicating that way. But we also had mutual friends, so our mutual friends met up, and the first time we met was probably at a bowling alley, I believe. But I mean, beyond meeting in person, we were tweeting. So.
And the funny thing is, we actually rode the same bus. I don't know if you remember that, but we rode the same bus.
Will Littler.
But he always sat in the back of the bus, and I was in the front of the bus, so we kind of never spoke to each other. And we went to the same high school, but like he said, we kind of met through mutual friends and Twitter.
Mm-hmm. And that was way out. That's when we was in college, so we pretty much known each other, or knew of each other, from grade school all the way up through high school. But we actually didn't meet and have a conversation until college. So you just never know who you're gonna end up with. You know, you never know who God has for you. But at the end of the day, you know, we met. This is my fiance now. Yes, sir. All right. So, but yeah, so you just never know. It's always good. A man knows. So we'll get to that in a little bit. All right.
So the second question is, where are y'all from?
Well, we're from Greenville, Texas. Yeah, that's about it.
But I was actually born in Eastland, Texas, but we moved into Greenville like when I was 2 years old, so I guess I pretty much grew up here.
I've been here all my life, so then, yeah. Alright.
Where was y'all's first date?
First date?
I'm walking out if you don't know this one.
What was our first date? It had to be at my crib. What was it?
Yeah.
Where we go?
We went to the movie theater.
Oh, that's right. We went to the movies. See, I knew this stuff. I know this stuff. See?
Yeah, we went to a movie theater.
What movie did we watch?
I cannot remember.
See, that means she fell asleep during the movie. Guys, do not take your girl to the movie theaters if she just gonna fall asleep. Alright?
To be honest, that's him.
Fell asleep twice, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, just twice.
We can answer the next one. When did y'all officially get together?
Well, you know, I had to make that big decision to finally make her mine after, what, 6 months? 5-6 months? Because we met in, what, July?
Yeah.
June or July? So I had to make that big jump.
But we didn't start talking until like after August.
Yeah, so in August, in August we started talking, and I finally asked her out on her birthday. So
can you tell them why you asked me out on my birthday?
So how I asked her out was how I just pulled up to a crib at midnight with a sign that said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" I think I had some candies or some chocolates and strawberries. She loved chocolate covered strawberries, so yeah. I just pulled up with that sign, you know, trying to be a little cheesy, get my brownie points, and it worked. She became mine. So yeah.
How did you propose?
So me proposing, that was a whole family effort. I think if I didn't have my family helping and her family helping, like, I don't think I would have pulled it off, because I was thinking a lot, and the way I wanted to go, it did not go that way, but it was still good enough for her to say yes, and still good enough. The presentation was awesome, but my family support, her family support, they really made everything work out. So me just going to my family, telling, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. Going to her family, telling them this is what we're gonna do. And we just put it together. So we went to the store, got them balloons, some candles, some roses. You know, I went and printed out our pictures and hung them up and stuff. And yeah, we just waited 2 hours. She was supposed to be there at a certain time. Ended up being 2 hours later. Everybody getting restless. But, you know, timing is everything, because she came in.
Because I was at the nail salon.
She was at the nail salon. I don't know how long it take there, but I think it still went.
Girls know they take a while.
Yeah, so it was a big surprise, because I was going to do it on her graduation, because she's getting ready to graduate. I was going to do it then.
I expected it then, so I was a little bit surprised when he did it the day of before Thanksgiving. So
yeah, so see, you gotta do it when they least expect it, because she was telling me all the time, when we gonna get married, when you gonna propose. Even my mama, when you gonna get married, when you gonna propose. So I had to make it happen. So yeah.
Who approached who first?
You want to answer?
Yeah, I can answer.
Go ahead and cap for
them. So this can be a little shocking to people, but it was actually me.
Okay, tell the truth now. Let her tell the truth then. Let her tell the truth. Let her tell the truth.
So yeah, so we actually went to the bowling alley. Was it? Yeah, we went to a bowling alley, and we had mutual friends. So, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, this guy, you know. So I actually stalked him on Twitter, and I actually stalked to see if I could find him on Snapchat. So I don't know, I added him on Snapchat, and pretty much we were really, like, the main subject that we first kind of like talked about was One Tree Hill. So after that, we kind of just, like, you know, started talking, but it was me that approached him first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, you know, I have that impression, you know, I'm a nice guy.
So what is y'all's favorite vacation spot?
We go on vacation, but we haven't had our favorite spot yet. But she's been to LA and Florida. I've been to, and New York.
Yeah.
I just been to Florida, New York. I've been a bunch of other places that we vacationed at as a family, but for me, to be honest, like, just the places we've been as a family, I'll say the best one has to be Florida. I think Florida is real good, so. And
we actually went together to New York and Florida.
Yeah.
Because his brother played college football down there, so we always try to go over there. And
yeah.
But if we had to pick, like, a future vacation spot, I would say Bora Bora.
Yeah, Bora Bora. She showed me that for the first time, and I was like, okay, this look pretty nice. So, yeah. Okay. So now we're about to get into more deeper questions, and just those questions to help and give you advice, you know, for your either future relationship, future spouse, or whatever that you're looking for. We just want to also be a help to y'all, because being in a relationship, being engaged, and on the road to being married, and married life is not easy. We're fortunate to have both of our parents been married. Mine's been married for like 20 years, and I believe hers has been married for 20 years also.
It's like 27.
27. So see, so we have that history in our family of just that longevity relationship, and we also want to demonstrate that same thing within our own family. You know, not saying that our life is we're gonna have a long relationship just because our family, you know, but sometimes that still don't happen for some people. So we still want to let that continue, because that's a cycle that we don't want to break. We want to, you know, we don't want to be that statistic of the divorce rate and all that stuff. So our parents, thank y'all for the inspiration and just showing us those tough times and the good times, and that, hey, you can still make it through. You know, those tough times don't last, and those good times will always outweigh those bad times. So another question, she's gonna read or I'll read it. Let me see. Let me do it. You did the other ones. Alright, so another question that somebody asked us is, how can a relationship flourish with the person you're with thrive off of arguing? Talking calm doesn't work. Yelling gets their attention and it's frustrating. So, in my opinion, like in that situation, you really got to examine yourself and admit your own faults, because if you're constantly arguing, there's a reason for the arguing. And what has to be the reason? If you don't know the reason, then you have to find that reason. And most of the time, we don't think about it because we don't want to admit our own faults. And unless you admit your own faults, and you'll never find that reason. So when you examine yourself and start admitting to the reason that you're being angry, or taking your frustration out on others, then you will really find out what it really is. Because I know for me, I had some frustrating moments before, but it wasn't that I was frustrated at her or my kids or anybody, because sometimes we can get frustrated that we're not where we want to be in life or where we should be in life. And sometimes we don't realize that your frustration on other things, we kind of put that on other people, which is not fair. That's why you have to examine yourself and make sure you really, really, really dig deep and really humble yourself, and not only humble yourself, but really evaluate yourself and look at your own self and say, hey, you know what? I can't be doing this to y'all. I can't take my frustration, something that frustrated me over here, I can't bring that frustration over there. So, of course, it will get better once y'all do that than just conversation. Conversation is the best thing. Conversation is key. You gotta conversate in any relationship, and anything you're doing, you have to conversate.
And something to add to that is, I know sometimes I have to take a look at myself and evaluate. Like, I know sometimes I find myself getting mad, and it's like, okay, what did I get mad for? Why are we arguing? And if I can't think of something then it's like, okay, this is not worth arguing for. So it's like, either I apologize if it was my wrongdoing. So I think it's really important to just admit when you're wrong and just apologize to one another. And I think that's pretty much it to that question.
Yeah. So yes, evaluate yourself. The best thing you do, I promise. All right. So the next one: what's the best relationship advice and tips? You want to start that one?
Yes. Never stop dating.
Yeah.
Never stop dating. I know when we had our youngest one, DeRay, after that we just stopped dating, and I think it was kind of when our relationship was a little bit rocky. And it's like, because we weren't spending enough time together, or our focus was on something else. So I feel like even if you don't have the money for it, something at home, or every other paycheck, or just finding that time to spend with that one person, just kids free, and just so you can both have that one-on-one time together. And one thing is also is never go to sleep mad at each other. Mm-hmm. You don't want that problem that one day go on to roll over to the next day. So I feel like y'all need to just mash it up, fix it, and then move on to the next day. Because once, you just don't want to go to sleep being mad at each other and then waking up and you're still mad at each other. Because at the end of the day, if that's your person, you want to talk to that person the first thing in the morning. So I think that's very important.
Yes, very important. And I can add on to that. I think sometimes when, couples get married, I think sometimes we tend to forget, because when you start having kids, you put all your focus on your kids, and like you said, you forget to date each other and stop dating and stuff. But it's like that still gotta go on, because when your kids turn 18, your wife's still gonna be there, your husband's still gonna be there, but your kids, they're gonna go off, and live their own life. So you don't want to put all your focus on your kids and abandon your wife or husband. You got to balance that out, balance your life out, and make sure that you give them both all of your time, really, because you don't even want to go to work and give work the best of you, then give your family the less of you. So make sure that you just balance in life and continue dating, continue to have that family time, you know. Like she said, you don't have to always go out to eat or, you know, go do it big, go to Disney World, you know. Just have a movie night. Just have a night where you just sit down and you just talk and paint and just a chill moment, get those vibes going and stuff. So, especially, yes, make sure you date. Yes.
That's really good.
The next question is, what's one thing you struggle with while being in this relationship? I think, I'll start this off. I think with this, for my end, like, I know I motivate people and, you know, encourage people, but at the end of the day, I'm human. And one thing that I can say that I struggle with, I'm stubborn. And I admit that. I always admit it to her. That's why I'm quick to apologize and all that, because, like, I know I'm stubborn, but I'm also, you know, knowing is better than learning. You know, you don't want to learn yourself. You want to know yourself. So one of the main things is to know who you are and know who you're dealing with and stuff like that. You know, you can't, like we just talked about frustration, I can't take my frustrations from something else and put it on her when it's not her fault. And I can't only be one-minded and only say it's my way or the highway. You know, we gotta both be in agreement on the same thing or it's not gonna work, because it will cause confusion. And one thing you don't want in a relationship is that confusion. You always want to be on the same page. Always want to make sure everything is aligned with God and all that, because really God is that main foundation. And if we don't have that main foundation, then our house will be unstable and our house will apparently be crumbled down, because the Bible said, you know, a wise man builds his house upon a rock and a foolish man will build his house upon the sand. All right, and we all know sand, when that storm comes, because the storm is going to come. It's going to be ups and downs in a relationship. That storm is going to come. So when that storm comes, we already know what water does to sand. All right, that sand is going to shrivel up, and eventually the house is going to come crashing down. That's why God said, build that house upon a rock, which He is the rock. And you build that house upon that, you got a good foundation. Those that storm going to come, God is already right there to fix it. God is already right there to keep you stable and keep you going. So just make sure, man, just know your toxic traits, really. Just know what your toxic traits, and just try not to give all of your toxic traits to your other.
I could add onto that one. I think one of the struggles at first was that language barrier. Mm-hmm. I know, like, at first I was a little bit scared for him to meet my parents, because, like, I was just thinking, like, oh, how they're going to communicate, like, how are they just, like, I don't want it to be awkward or anything like that. And at first it was a little bit rough, because, you know, being Hispanic, my parents really don't know that much English. They know a little bit, but, yeah, I know at first it was a little bit rocky, but throughout the years it's gone a little better. You know, my parents been able to learn a little bit more English, and he's trying to learn a little bit Spanish. So yeah, that was kind of one of the struggles at the beginning of our relationship, but I would say it's gotten a little bit better.
Yeah, it has, and her parents also are learning more English too, so we're kind of helping each other, or trying to, you know, trying to teach more English and learn more Spanish. But, you know, like you said, that's the big struggle, especially when I went to go ask her dad to, you know, have her hand in marriage. That was the biggest thing right there. Because I went like, I want to take your daughter hand in marriage. Okay. You know, but at the end of the day, I know he was really happy and satisfied that I was the man to propose to his daughter. So, yeah. Okay, we got 2 more questions for y'all, all right?
One of the questions was, how did you know that he or she was the one? I know for me personally, I knew he was the one because I'm just going to try not to get too sentimental, but I feel like for me it was very important to, you know, date a guy, or, you know, just marry a guy that loves my son as his own. So that to me was really important. If you're a single mom and you have a kid, I think it's very important to make sure what the guy's intentions are. I think it's very important, because either a guy's gonna want to, you know, do something, you know what I'm talking about, or either want to have a future with you and your kid. I know with him, it was like, I think it was like difficult, because I think we like talked for a couple months before he actually met my son. Mm-hmm. I didn't want my son to come around with, you know, all these guys that I was talking about. which in reality he was only been my second boyfriend, but not fiance. And so I think it's very important not to bring every guy that you talk to around your kid, because not everyone deserves to meet your kid, because your kid is so special to you, and I think you need to make sure that the guy's intentions are good. And I know with him, when he met my son, I know before we wanted to hang out and stuff, and I was like, oh, I can't because I have my kid. And when he was like, that's okay, like bring him with you. So I feel like the fact that he wanted to also meet my son, yet, you know, also get to know me, I think that was very important to me. So I felt like that's when I knew he was kind of the one, was because that he made that much effort to also get to know my son and me. So I would say that was it.
And I knew just the ups and downs, and just knowing that all the things that we've been through, you know, just her having my back in some stages of my life and her trying to stay on to me and all that stuff. Those are some other key things that kind of helped me know, because, you know, as you go through life and you're in those relationships, especially long relationships, you don't want to start over and all that stuff, and you want to, you know, see who's going to struggle with you, who's going to come out on top with you. And I can say that she's somebody that was with me in the struggling moments and the on top moments. So, yeah, I knew she was.
I also want to add to that, one of the things that I knew that he was the one was his patience. I don't know if you personally know him, you know that this man is like the most patient person I've ever met. So I think that was really, really huge. And I feel like the form of the way he loves, he doesn't love me by saying it. He does it by doing things for me, like actions. Like they say, actions speak louder than words. And I think that is very true. I don't want him to say, oh, I love you, but then doing something behind my back. I'd rather him, you know, prove it to me and show me by his actions rather than just saying it to me.
So the last question that we're going to answer for you guys today is, how crucial was God in the early parts of your relationship, and how has it helped it flourish? My ex-girlfriend and I found God together, and I was lucky to be there when she got baptized. But due to long distance, we have fallen apart. Any advice? So I know in our relationship, at the beginning, we had different beliefs, but you know, we still believed in God. We still she went to church with me and all that stuff every Sunday. And that's what I really know God was working. I really had hopes for it, even though we believed different. And it was just one of those things you just got to continue to pray to God about and really show that actions, because most times we ask God to do this, but we forget to apply that work with the faith. And just the advice for, you know, your relationship long distance, it's hard, but the main thing you got to do at that long distance is communicate every day. Make sure you're communicating. Even though you don't see each other every day, it's always good to communicate every day. FaceTime, we got FaceTime, see each other, you know, make those efforts, even if you have to, you know, see each other once a month, once every other month or something like that. You want to make those efforts, because having a long distance relationship is not an easy thing, and I never had one, so I couldn't just give you a lot of advice on that. But one of the main things I can say is just communicating, really. So
and I know you said that you were there when she got baptized, and I feel like y'all already have that, you know, that connection with God. So I feel like, even like he said, FaceTiming, like try to read a verse from the Bible, or, you know, a book from the Bible each day, and together over the phone. And, you know, hopefully that will help y'all reconnect a little bit more. And, you know, just communicating how you feel, you know, just even just giving her like a beautiful comment each day. I feel like that goes a long way. Just wanting to be there for each other, I feel like that's very important. So I feel like if y'all just, you know, depending on how far y'all are from each other, if it's like a couple hours, or, you know, if it's a flight away, I feel like just definitely saving that money every like 2 months, 3 months, and just going out to visit one another. So I feel like that would definitely help y'all out. With that being said, I just want everyone to know that not every relationship is going to be all daisies and butterflies. Every relationship argues, even if it doesn't look like it from the outsider looking in. Every relationship, they have the ups and downs, but it's worth fighting for. So I feel like, you know, I just want y'all to keep that in mind. If y'all have any more questions, just reach out to us, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a little bit more advice and open to your questions.
No, she pretty much said it all, but like she said, you know, there's ups and downs in a relationship, there's going to be, but you need to find that person that you want to go through those ups and downs with. Like, it's not easy. It's one of the toughest things, but, you know, life is always going to get harder, but you got to get tougher every day, and you will get tougher every day. You can be tougher together. You know, don't try to do it by yourself, or, you know, make the relationship a 50-100 thing. You know, make the relationship a 100-100 thing. Do it together. Together you can do all things. With Christ you can do everything. So keep that in mind.
It's worth it.
Alright, so guys, we hope we answer your questions. We answer them to the best of our ability, to our knowledge, our experience. So we hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Like we always say, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, like the video, share it around, because you never know who might need this advice in the future, who might need this advice right now. So make sure you guys share this video, continue to comment. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and hit us up with any questions that you have. So this is the Wilson family, and we are out.